The issue of Torah learning in the modern Orthodox community. Right? Where do we stand? Is that a strength of ours? Maybe it's a weakness. So I'll give you a Dvar Torah about Sfiras HaOmer, and then you can check out the background, maybe related. And then we'll try and answer the question. Right? So the question that comes up, of course, is right, we count from the 16th day of Nisan, the second day of Pesach. We bring a barley offering called the Omer. 49 days later, we bring the Shtei HaLechem, the two breads, on Shavuos. Right? And the Torah tells us, Fartem Lachem, right? You count from one to the other. Two questions. One is, what are we really counting for, right? What are we counting from? What are we counting to? That's question number one. Question number two is, if the whole point is just to count from A to B, but A is important and B is important, why is the count a mitzvah? Okay, it could be a hechsher mitzvah, right? It could be a secondary piece. There's no mitzvah to grow the four species for the lulav and esrog on Sukkot. Mitzvah is to have them, right? If something is in the background, it's not. It's a good thing. It's wonderful. We call it a hechsher mitzvah, a preparatory stage. Why isn't the counting simply a preparatory stage? So there are many answers given to that question. Tonight, I offer the answer of the Sefer HaChinuch. Right, Middle Ages, Spain, a book of mitzvahs, amazing, amazing book. And he says as follows. Right? The reason for this mitzvah is that the Kol Ikaran Shel Yisrael. In our hearts, the fundamental existence of Israel is only for the Torah. Right? That doesn't mean we don't go to work, doesn't mean we don't serve in the army, but our primary purpose of the Jewish people is to receive the Torah, to learn the Torah, to live a life of Torah. Right? And he goes, Torah nivra shamayim be'eretz v'Yisrael. Right? The heavens and the earth and the Jews were all created so that the Torah could be brought down into this world. That is how important the Torah is. Right? And the Chumash actually says, we took you out of Egypt, Shetavdunas Elohim ala hara, said that you should serve God on this mountain. That mountain is Sinai, where we received the Torah. So that, he says, is we're counting to the receiving of the Torah, right? Not so clear in the Chumash, but an accepted approach. It is the approach of the Sefer HaChinuch. We count from Pesach, from leaving Egypt, to the receiving of the Torah at Shavuos. Why is it a mitzvah, though? Right? Why is it a mitzvah to count that journey? Okay, we have Pesach, we have Shavuos, we got to get from A to B. Why is that a mitzvah? And he says, right, therefore, because this is the primary purpose of the Jewish people, and we were redeemed for that, right, we are commanded to count from Pesach until Shavuos to demonstrate in our souls, right, the great desire that we have to receive the Torah. Right? When's it going to come? It's going to come tomorrow. No, it's one more day and another week. Build up anticipation. The point of the count, the mitzvah of the count, is to, right, to have in our soul, right? It should take root there, our love for the Torah, our anticipation of the Torah, and our understanding of how important the Torah is to us as Jews and to the Jewish people. And that's why there's a mitzvah to count. It's not just to get there. It's to get there in the right frame of mind with the right appreciation, the right understanding of what Torah means to us. And now if I go back to the question, right, that I started with, does the modern Orthodox community really appreciate Torah in that way? Sadly, I think we've made some strides, but I think the answer might be no. Right? That answer might really be, we have a ways to go. Right? Both communally in terms of expectation and levels of learning, but even personally. Right? Did you ever have an experience? You ever look forward to learning, to really be excited by it, to have learning Torah give you what we call a sipuk hanefesh, right? A fulfillment in some part of your soul. Do we even think that's an ideal? Those are questions we should be asking ourselves because, right, all the other issues aside, everyone has to agree that one of the primary item in our lives, right, has to be the Torah. It has to be learning Torah, practicing Torah, living Torah, with all that that means. But it starts, right, with learning Torah as a communal value and as a personal ideal. Right? Those are questions that I think the modern Orthodox community should be asking and hopefully answering in the positive and making changes in our personal and communal approaches so that we can reach the goal. We can get to Shavuos and say, I've been dying for the Torah. I've been looking forward to it, anticipating it. And now it's here and unbelievable. We're learning Torah on Shavuos, right? That's something that we need to get to. And hopefully this year should be the year. Shabbat Shalom.